What is up, YouTube? For today's video, we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. I came across an article that was talking about most prolific video game quote. It will inspire you within a lifetime. And I was reading through it and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Some of these quotes I recognize from very famous games and whatnot. But why do a video about quotes that we already know are inspirational? Which, I mean, to be honest, I will actually be doing a video on that shortly. But why start with some super omega absolute serious quotes? And why not do some more goofy ones instead that even though we look at them and we go,
who wrote this trash?
You can actually find some good little nuggets of life and truth in them. Let's get into the first quote. I believe everybody that has played Portal has heard this at least 6,000 times. It is the ever so infamous, "The cake is a lie." That quote is the most infuriating quote that you could probably ever hear when you play Portal. But regardless of how pissed off it might make you, that quote makes a lot of sense. Not everything in life is always as sweet as it seems. So yes, there might be a piece of nice German chocolate cake sitting in the kitchen, but for all we know, that might not actually be chocolate cake. That might actually be a little sculpted figure of dog shit. It serves a very good lesson of letting us know that, listen, something that might look good actually isn't good for you at all. Instead, it might just lead you to nothing but even more turmoil and chaos. So kudos to the cake being alive, because after playing Portal, that's why I prefer to eat pie now. Next on the list, we have the ever so influential magnetic from the Legend of Zelda series. Now, I think it's no surprise that we all know when it comes to Link in talking, Link is very allergic to words. Okay, I'm pretty sure if Link ever put his hand on a dictionary, his hand would probably break into hives. But what makes this quote so unique and so interesting is that we know that Link is the hero of all the Legend of Zelda games. We know that he's the main protagonist that comes in and destroys Ganon, whether he be in pig form or Gerudo form, and saves the day along with Princess Zelda. And knowing all of this in mind and keeping all of this in mind, it makes sense why silence is such an important, amazing quote that pretty much sums up not only Link's character, but just his actions in general. Because it is mainly because it's a line that derives from all the quotes that talk about, you know, doing more with your action rather than your words. Link is a hero of action. Link doesn't have to talk, because as we've seen for about 30 years, Link doesn't have to say anything to prove himself. Link just does it regardless. Link does it through his actions. Link does it through defeating Ganon. Link does it through saving Hyrule. So yes, the silence or the ellipses that you might see sometimes in Breath of the Wild is funny to look at, but at the end of it all, it serves a purpose to tell us that Link is the hero who doesn't need to say anything. Link takes charge and he does it himself.
Next on the list!
Next quote on the list is from a game that I used to heavily be into in 2015 until Blizzard's patches attacked, and that is Overwatch. So this quote from Overwatch, which is a game that is filled with many quotes from many heroes that all range from weird,
"I'm your huckleberry,"
to super serial,
"Put your security in my hands,"
to edgelord like Reaper.
"I'm back in black."
But the quote that I'm going to be talking about in Overwatch today comes from a grumpy old man known by Soldier 76, and his quote is,
I'm not a young man anymore. That's it. No, that's the quote.
Now, when I looked through all the quotes in Overwatch, this one resonated with me through the most, and it wasn't because that I can heavily relate to it as a 26-year-old who has the spirit of an 80-year-old within her body. This quote also has an importance into Soldier 76's backstory, since Soldier 76 is like the former commander-in-chief, or whatever you call it, for the Overwatch squadron or whatever. And now that he's taken this like weird rogue one-man John Wick team and dubbed himself Soldier 76, you kind of get like the feeling of frustration that's within his that's within the tone of this quote. It's pretty much Soldier 76 being like, listen, I can't do what I used to do I can't sit here and lead the charge against the Omnics or fight against the Omnics like I could when I was younger. So this quote kind of has like a sense of frustration, and as well as just overall general of just like us growing into our adulthood and peeking into our adulthood and realizing that the things that we just can't do anymore, we simply just can't do anymore because we just don't have the energy. And it's not because we don't want to do it. It's just because we grow older, the more and more we just get complacent, the more and more we just get lax, the more and more that despite us believing in something and wanting to fight for something, it just gets tiring. It just wears down on us. And that's why I think that this is such an interesting, unique quote, despite its goofy appearance. Number 2 on the list is from a very iconic character from the Pokemon video game series. We've seen this character alive and well, right on our way towards the Pokemon League to destroy everybody and leave them in the dust with that one level 100 Pokemon that you OP farm while the rest of your party is just kind of okay. Now, get ready because I'm about to blow the pants off of you with this amazing quote that I was able to find. I like shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear. This quote comes from the ever so infamous youngster that's like usually on Route 1 or Route 2 as you're starting off the Pokemon game after you get that starter Pokemon, because for some odd reason, every professor in the Pokemon series is always getting bullied by a level 5 Pokemon before they decide to end up giving you your starter Pokemon. I don't understand it. How are you a professor with like level 30 Pokemon or 70 Pokemon, and yet you're always getting bullied by a Bidoof or a Zigzagoon? Like, I don't understand it. As you're starting off the game, there's always a youngster or 2 or 3 that you always have to end up fighting as you make your way to the first town or the second town. And you know how it is when you run into a trainer and they always have like some weird random quote that kind of fits their personality. It's very funny because it's just so random and off the wall. Like, there's swimmers that'll make like a little swimming pond or whatever, and there's like the beauty Pokemon trainers that'll make like a quote about, you know, Pokemon being beautiful and attractive. But this youngster is just like, yo, listen, I like wearing shorts. They're comfortable, they're easy to wear. It makes a lot of sense. When you're over here fighting Pokemon and going on a journey, why not be comfortable? Why sit there and stress yourself out? It's already stressful enough having to fight, you know, Lance the Dragon Tamer and his 2 Dragonairs and Dragonite. So why put much more stress on yourself? Be comfortable, relax, keep it cool, keep it calm. There's a little bit of a life lesson in this. Do whatever makes you comfortable. Do whatever keeps you focused. And usually you stay focused as long as you're comfortable. Youngster out here teaching us ever since the 90s. And now it brings us numero uno. Now, number 1, I'm pretty sure a lot of you who are watching this video has played this game at least once in your lifetime, or tried it at least once in your lifetime, because it is a game that is very, very popular and very, very iconic within its game genre. And that is Left 4 Dead 2. Now, Left 4 Dead in general has a lot of funny quotes from the characters, whether it's that redneck dude that goes, chest paddles here, or if it's Coach being like,
Watch when you're shooting that thing.
There's just a lot of funniness that goes on in a chaotic game like Left 4 Dead. But the quote that I am using is going to be, technically you're not supposed to use the elevator to fire, but that might not apply during a zombie apocalypse. I think it's an interesting line to be thinking about while you're like running for your lives, as there are giant fat zombies that shoot zombie pus at you, or whether it's a zombie that like leaps into the air and attaches onto you like a monkey, or if there's like a zombie that's spent a little too much time on Saturday nights by himself and one of those arms is looking pretty thicker than the other. It's interesting to see within this quote that like there's a glimpse of humanity still left within these characters. Because I'm pretty sure that for most of us, if we were in a zombie apocalypse, I don't think we would have cared about it taking an elevator in the middle of a fire, as long as we got to safety. But in this case, it's something about reminiscing about a law during a time where like humans were roaming the land and wasn't being threatened by killer zombies, kind of like subconsciously wishing to return back to such a state of living. And unfortunately for Nick, that's not the way it is when you have a monkey zombie leached onto your back and is leading you towards a cliff. But I digress. I thoroughly enjoyed looking at these 5 quotes and kind of being like, listen, they're goofy, they're not to be taken that serious, but despite their goofiness and despite how they might look from outside the window, they contain a lot more meaning. Thank you guys for this video. That wraps it up. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. If you are new to this video, please make sure to subscribe and click on that notification bell if you want to be notified of when my next video comes out. And of course, there's my social medias, which are down below. With all that being said, thank you guys so much. Can't wait to see you next week in a new video.